What's going on, everybody? I'm Primalliquid, and welcome back to my Final Fantasy VIII Ragnarok mod playthrough. Guys, we are now on part number 33, and this one's going to be a little different. Why? Because I'm not really going to talk much about the game or anything like that. I will say, though, I have done a little grind since the last one. It's simply due to the fact, like, we are going to have, you know, Cerberus, Cypher, Edia, and so on coming up. And Renoa was just a little under-leveled, so I got a few levels there. Nothing major or anything like that. Just a small little grind. Anyway. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we? So, some of you guys may or may not know. I did post it on Insta, Twitter, and even YouTube post. But I was invited last week to the Square Enix headquarters. Yes, that is right. Square Enix invited me down to their headquarters, and it was amazing. Like, seriously, I can't even put it into words how actually awesome and cool it really was. They've got a life-size chocobo in their office, man. Like, seriously, a life-size chocobo in their office. I seriously wanted to steal that, to be honest. Like, I've got nowhere to put it. I have absolutely nowhere at all to put it, but I still really wanted it. Honestly, it looks absolutely amazing. But no, they invited me out, and you know, I got to have a little hands-on with Theater Rhythm, the new game coming out soon, which was just loads and loads of fun, honestly. But then the big one really is I actually got to sit down and interview the developers. You know, I got to interview Hazama-san and also Suizi. Suizi-san? I know I've just butchered that pronunciation so horribly. But essentially I got to interview the producers and the director, basically. And it was different to what I expected. You know what I mean? Like, I'd obviously known this was coming up, you know, with me saying to you guys, oh, you know, we're going, like, there's not going to be any videos this week and so on and so forth. But it was not what I was expecting, to say the least. It was really not what I was expecting. So both like Hazama-san and that, like, they have just this awesome energy, you know, like they are pranksters essentially. Like that's probably the easiest way to explain it. They are pranksters, and they are hilarious for sure. It's like I do oh, excuse me. I did record the interview, so you guys, you know, are gonna get to see that, learn a little bit more about them, and then a little bit about, you know, some of the games and so on and so forth. But no, it was honestly a blast. And then obviously, you know, I also met a bunch of other creators there. I met Daryl from FF Union, who is just super chill. Like, the guy is quite literally a walking encyclopedia, you know. So we had an awesome chat, me and him did. And then, you know, like Alex was there, good old Alex. And then there was also a few others, but I didn't really get to speak to everyone. Like, unfortunately, I was not that well. Like, I was feeling a bit unwell when it happened, so I ended up getting there, you know, a bit later. Basically, you know, just sort of in time for my interview. So I didn't get time or chance to sit there and, you know, talk with everyone for a few hours and whatnot. So unfortunately, that is a little disappointing, because some of them, like in the small conversations I had, they were absolutely awesome people, and I do hope I get the chance to, you know, meet them again in the future. But oh man, it was crazy. Just like how should I put it? You know, how should I put it? We were just all having, you know, a really good fun time. You know, it's like, essentially, the game just crashed. I forgot to turn off Dropbox. Whoopsie. Okay, let's go ahead and just disable that. I always forget about Dropbox. But yeah, it's like essentially I know obviously like the creators and that we were there to do interviews. You know, we were there to interview the devs and to get a little hands-on with the game and whatnot. But honestly, I think it almost got to a point that I think we all kind of forgot that. You know what I mean? Because it was so fun. That, and I mean, just being in the office when you think about like being in the office of the company that makes your all-time favorite games. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. Plus the offices are amazing. It's like, oh man, they have a full-blown Dragon Quest area, guys. Like they have a full-blown little like relaxing Dragon Quest area. Like big massive TV on the wall, game consoles where you can just go and sit and play games and all that in their freaking office. Okay. Oh man, it was truly, you know, an experience to say the least. That, and I was I was absolutely that shy, nervous little schoolboy there, you know, for sure. Like I had no idea what to say, honestly. Like you guys know yourself, okay? Once I start, I really start rambling, you know, like I'm probably doing that now, to be fair. But when I was there, like I don't know, like I was mind blown, you know. I was honestly overwhelmed by the sheer awesomeness of it. So it's like I was just sort of standing there talking to you know, the PR rep who invited me down, good old Ibs, thank you Ibs. Talking to him, and I'm just like, oh, what's going on? You know, like I couldn't get my bearings. Like, you know, I mean, I've done other things like this before, but with this one being with Square, I think that really added, you know, a whole other level to it more than anything. But just the experience was truly phenomenal. It's like I only oh, excuse me. I only wish that I could have got more vlog footage there. That's all I wish. I could have got more vlog footage. But as I say, like I really wasn't that well that day. So I just didn't have the energy to actually do the vlogging, you know. Like I did the interview while sort of, you know, just trying to make sure I didn't throw up basically from the stomach, and of course from the nerves, you know. I think it goes without saying that I was absolutely very nervous before well, both before I got there and when I was there. So I think both things, you know, combined just really didn't help me all that much. But, you know, I'm hoping it happens again for sure. Like I'm really hoping it will happen again. Just so that, you know, I can get there a little bit early. I can show you guys the entire area. Like I will vlog the entire area, because I actually had permission to do that this time. They did say like I can show anything in the office off basically. Well, so the office part that we had access to anyway. Like I could show like any of that off, and then all I would have to do is, you know, like blank out staff members' faces, you know, which is pretty normal for these sorts of things. But they honestly have so much cool stuff there that I'm really sad that I just couldn't show you guys, you know what I mean? Where it's not that I wasn't allowed, you know. They were more than willing to let me, you know, film around the studio, well, the office and all that. But as I say, it was just an illness feeling. It's like we had, well, me and VIII, because VIII was, you know, my cameraman for the event. But we were both very ill, to say the least. We were both really not that well. It's like we had, well, when I got to London on the Tuesday, we ended up going out for like a meal. We went to an Indian place, and it really did not agree well with the both of us, unfortunately. So the event we were both quite ill for. Quite ill. I mean, VIII had it worse than me, which I suppose really is kind of beneficial, really, you know, because it means that I was dead, but I was still able to make it. Like, yeah, I wasn't able to make it there for when I wanted, but I was at least able to make it there for a bit. Whereas Withered was dead. Like, he was very, very much so in a worse state than me, for sure. But no, it was an experience, to say the least, and I'm really, really happy and really, really thankful that, you know, Square gave me that opportunity, that chance. But obviously, it's not only Square that gave me that opportunity, that gave me that chance. It's you guys. You know, like, that is... It sounds sort of cliche, you know, like, oh, I never could have done it without you guys. Like, I know a lot of YouTubers say that, but in this situation, that is honestly true. You know, like, you guys loving the Final Fantasy content, like, yeah, I make the content, but you could have the world's best content, and it wouldn't matter if there's not an audience who enjoys it. So to have so many of you guys that you know, enjoy the content, that enjoy the Final Fantasy content that I make, that is definitely what helps me to get there, which, you know, in turn means I can make extra content that hopefully gives you guys a bit more of a behind the scenes into Square as a company, as a whole, you know. But it was honestly one of those things that when I was invited down, you know, I had to do a double take. You know, I had to do a double take at the email, for sure, because, oh man, it was one of them, you know. It was really one of them where I couldn't believe my eyes that it was going to happen. And then obviously, like, when I actually got there as well, like, I know I'm rambling a bit now as well. I know I am rambling, so I'll apologize for that. But it really, you know, even now that I am back home recording FF8 and so on and so forth, like, even now I still have those nerves, you know what I mean? And it's kind of a weird thing to explain, because I'm sure everybody watching this right now has had that moment where, you know, they've been nervous before going somewhere, they've been nervous before doing something, you know, maybe like I don't know, a job interview or starting a new job. You always have that bit of nervousness at the start, yeah. Whereas now, like, I'm back home, you know, like, I'm not down there anymore. So it's like, what do I have to oh, excuse me, what do I have to be nervous about, really? Like, there isn't anything. And it's just like, I still can't get over it, you know. It is almost like that first week at a new job, you know what I mean, where even though you've gone through, you know, the worst of it, you know, you've met people, you've started doing, you know, whatever it is you're doing, and by that point, realistically, you should be back to normal, essentially. You know, you should be how you are every other day, which for the most part, you know, I am now. Like, I'm mostly back to normal, but there's still that like that feeling that, oh my god, I went to Square Enix HQ. You know what I mean? Like, there is still that feeling that it happened, and I don't think I'm gonna get over it for a long time. And it's like I say, you know, I've done events like this before. Some of you guys will know about these events. Some of you will not know about these events because they were a bit of time ago. Obviously, you know, COVID put a whole stop to them for quite a bit, and since then, you know, the channel has grown by quite a huge amount. So it's not even like, you know, I was a shy little schoolboy on my first ever event. Like, no. I think it was just more a case of the fact that it was Square. You know what I mean? I think that's really what did it for me, essentially, you know. But no, it was just, oh man, it was truly crazy. And honestly, like, I am, for me, it was a fanboy moment, for sure. Like, it was straight up fanboy moment. This is where, you know, like, you guys enjoy the games, you know, you enjoy overpowered videos and something like that. You know, you're happy to watch them and so on and so forth. For me, this wasn't about being a YouTuber or getting content from their office or anything like that. For me, this was, I've been playing these games for as long as I can remember, and I am now standing in the building where work is done on them. You know, like that is just insanely crazy to me, for sure. And like, if it wasn't for you guys enjoying the videos so much, like I never would have had that chance and that opportunity. So I am obviously thankful to Square for inviting me down, you know, but more than that, I am honestly more thankful to you guys, because without the support from you guys, you know, without you guys enjoying the content so much, I wouldn't have been invited down. So really, it doesn't come down to, well, I suppose it kind of comes down to the content I make, but most of it just comes down to you guys, and that is truly, you know, a special thing, which I think really is probably it's the best part about being a YouTuber. I think, you know, it's definitely the best part about being a YouTuber, the connection between YouTuber and viewer. You know, that is definitely an awesome connection, because then obviously, you know, like, yeah, the YouTuber gets to do some really cool stuff, but 9 times out of 10, you know, it's like the YouTuber can bring you guys along. You know, it can all be filmed, it can be spoken about. So it really is a bit of a, you know, it's kind of like a, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back sort of deal. You know what I mean? Because obviously they can't invite everybody in, you know, but by inviting, you know, like content creators and that, like it lets footage be made, it lets videos be made, which gives everybody an insight into you know, like what goes on there. And oh man, it's truly, I can't get over it. You know, I can't get over it. I know I've been rambling about this for like the last 20 minutes now, but it really is just one of those really special moments in my life, for sure. Like that is by far the biggest thing, you know, I've ever done for anything, really. Like it was honestly one of the greatest moments of my life, and I'm really thankful for the opportunity for it, for sure. And I know, like, I posted on, you know, YouTube, Insta, Twitter when I was there with the pictures. Well, I didn't post on YouTube straight away. I was trying to post to Twitter, and like Twitter was having a whole bunch of problems. It wouldn't let me make the post for some reason. So I ended up posting on Instagram, and then using the like YouTube Studio app, it wouldn't let me make the post on YouTube. So in the end, I had to sort of like come out of that and just do it like via oh sorry, I've got the hiccups. I had to do it like via the browser YouTube and that, which not that easy. Like browser YouTube on mobile, not that easy to use as a creator, for sure. Like that definitely needs simplifying a little bit of your listening, YouTube. I mean, who am I kidding? YouTube are definitely not listening. But no, so that post definitely came way later. But just the sheer, well, I say the sheer, like, no, there was actually a little bit of a mixed reaction, like thinking about it. Granted, it was only a few people, but like a lot of you guys were jealous, you know, which understandably, like if anybody else had you know had that chance, I would have been infuriatingly jealous as well. So don't get me wrong, I know how that feels. Okay, it's like when you know, when FF14 do the fan fests and stuff like that. Like I'm always jealous that you know, I can't go and stuff like that, mostly because they're always in other countries and I don't have a passport. Which, you know, I think I'm gonna have to get one, to be fair. I definitely think I'm gonna have to get one. But yeah, so I know what it feels like to be kind of jealous of events and that. But then the one that made me laugh, okay, well, I say the one, there was actually a few of these. So the ones that really made me laugh were the ones that were essentially calling me a sellout and a shill. Like, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Let's talk about this for a minute. Firstly, I've been making Final Fantasy content for 10 years. Like, quite literally 10 years, okay? Granted, it's not all on this channel, but I have been making FF content for 10 years now. This is my first time being invited down there, so how am I essentially a sellout? You know, it's like I wasn't paid to go down there or anything like that. You know, it's like I wasn't asked to do anything, make anything look good, you know, like nothing at all about that. It was quite literally, they asked me if I wanted to come down, interview some devs. You know, like I could have said no, you know, like there was no selling out, there was no shilling, okay? Like I could, I mean, I could, but I wouldn't because my experience there was awesome. But I could talk badly about, you know, my experience there. And I honestly don't think my relationship with Square would change about that, you know? It's like if I do reviews for any Square games, you know, it's like I will still be honest with them. Look at when I had my like first ever event, okay? My first ever event, for those who don't know, I was invited by Koei Tecmo to get a rather exclusive hands-on with Atelier. And when I say exclusive, I mean this was like 20-30 people from like press and YouTube. So there really weren't many people that they invited down for that event. And yet when the game came out, I reviewed that game, and I was blatantly obvious. You know, I wasn't blatantly obvious is the wrong words. I was very blatant, basically, with what I was saying. You know, there was no shilling or anything like that. I was still very honest. I still mentioned all the problems that I had with said game. You know, it's like nothing about me will ever be a sellout. Like, here's the thing, right? For those of you who are maybe only just watching, you know, who joined the channel from Crisis Core, and then those of you who have maybe been here 3, 4, or 5 years, you know, like I know some of you guys have been here a very, very long time, but how many times, okay, how many times have you seen me do sponsorships on this channel? Not a lot, and the reason for that is quite simple. Like, I don't want to promote useless junk, essentially. You know what I mean? Like, I am not a sellout. I am not a shill, basically. It's like I will only promote things that I want to promote, essentially. You know, it's like I've had before now, little background for, you know, the life of a YouTuber. I have had some quite big offers. Okay, some quite big sponsorship offers, which I have turned down. Why? Simply due to the fact that I don't like the product. You know, and if I don't like the product, I am not going to sponsor something. It is as simple as that. It's like, I don't care how much money a company will offer me. Alright? I am still only going to sponsor. Well, I'm still only going to promote what I want to promote, essentially. So it's like, for those who oh, excuse me, like, I know, oh my god, I'm getting kind of tortured here. Where's the spell? I need to dispel them both. Where was I? Oh, I've lost my train of thought now because of that berserk. No, I've completely lost my train of thought. But no, essentially, like, I don't know, like, I know the people who were saying that, like, oh, you know, now the sellout begins and stuff like that. I know those who said that have not been around on the channel for very long. You know, that is pretty clear to me, because it shows that they don't know how I work. You know, they aren't used to how I make content and stuff like that. So it's understandable that some people might assume that. But this, like, I just want to set the record straight, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people probably won't care about, you know, being called a shill or being called a shell out. But it's like, on YouTube, I get a lot of grief in comments. You know, that's normal for every YouTuber at the end of the day. That is very, very normal for any YouTuber. That's nothing, you know, unique to me or anything like that. That is something we all deal with. But there's a difference, at least to me personally. I don't know, maybe this is just a personal thing. To me, there is a difference of, you know, just having shit flung at you. Yeah? Like having shit flung at you and then being like not so much insulted as a person, but having your morals brought into things. You know, for me that is the big one. You know, that is definitely the big one, which annoys me. You know, it doesn't upset me or anything like that. Like it annoys me basically, because that is bringing my morals into question. And you know, it's like I don't care if somebody insults me, you know what I mean? Like I'm used to that. Every YouTuber is used to that for sure. But when you insult who a person is, I think that is sort of a different story. You know, it's a different kettle of fish. So when I saw those comments, I was just like, wow, really? Is that actually what you think is gonna happen? Obviously though, you know, it is few and far between. Yeah, it is very, very much so few and far between. But it's still one of those things that you see and you're just like, oh man, like really is that how this is gonna go now? Yeah, it was sort of a downer on what was a really cool and unique experience. But either way, I know, you know, they are the vocal minority for sure. It's like I know the vast majority of you guys were really happy for me, which, you know, like a big thank you, honestly. Like a huge thank you to everybody who you know, was happy for me. Like it was definitely one of those moments that I am so glad I got to experience. You know what I mean? Alright, so I suppose I should probably murder the dude, right? Let's do a meteor, see how much that does. We'll try Diablos as well. Yeah, it really was just truly awesome. But yeah, I definitely think I should stop going on about it now. I probably bored half of you guys to death with this. It's just, oh man, I can't get it out of my head, you know? You know when like that really awesome cool thing happens and you just want to tell everybody about it? You know, it's kind of like that. You know, like I just want to talk about it pretty much. It was honestly so cool. Oh man, I just wish I had more footage there at the building. That's all I wish I could have got for you guys. Just more footage. Like I want you guys to see what I saw. You know what I mean? But I just wasn't very well, man. I'm gutted about that. It's always the worst timing. You always, well, I don't know about you guys, but me personally, I always get ill at the worst possible timing ever. Like, does anyone else have that? You know, like maybe, I don't know, maybe you're going on a trip or something like that, or you know, you're starting a new job. Like I don't know. There's lots of things it could be. But for me personally, like whenever I'm gonna do something really cool, you know, I always get ill. If you guys remember when I went on holiday in October, yeah, I think it was October. No, I came back in October, so it was like last week of September that I went. I think, I don't know, I can't remember the exact date. But it's like I ended up catching a cold on my first day there. My first holiday in like 3-4 years, and I caught a freaking cold. And then obviously with this, like I ate dodgy food, so it's like, oh man, the world does not want me to experience the awesomeness, you know what I mean? But no, it was oh dude, it was so good. It was so good. But luckily enough, I have like retweeted a lot of a lot of pictures that were taken at the event, you know, from the other creators and from you know, other people that were there and that. So if you want to see some of the cool stuff, then by all means head over to Twitter, and you can see some of the amazing things. Like, for sure, definitely recommend going and checking it out. Like, there is a huge amount of like pictures that I've like retweeted, liked, and stuff like that. So you guys can find the vast majority of them on my Twitter account. But I highly recommend taking a look, honestly, for sure. It is really something special there, Offie says, and you guys definitely need to see it. I honestly wish I could have shown you more, but as I say, it's just really bad timing and really bad Corey. Which it sucks, you know, it sucks. But as I say, hopefully one day, you know, I'll be invited down again. We can hope. But at the very least, you know, I did get the interview done for you guys. You know, we did get an interview with the devs. So I really hope you guys are going to enjoy that. There are some questions in there which, honestly, I think you would not expect me to ask. But that being said, I think you would actually really enjoy them, especially because of the answers those questions got. Okay, I might have asked those questions. I was not expecting those answers. Like that is probably the easiest way for me to sum this up. I was not expecting those answers for sure. So that'll be coming. Well, I've sent the footage off to be edited now. However, it is the lovely Daph's birthday currently, so she is celebrating, so there will be a little bit of a delay on that, but it should come, you know, sort of this week. We'll have to see though. It will hopefully be this week. But though, everybody, I'm afraid to say the rant is over right now, and we are being Cerberus, so we are going to be ending this video right here. So though, I do hope you guys have enjoyed my rant. If you have, then please be sure to smash that like button, and of course drop a comment down below. If you guys have any questions about Square Enix HQ, then by all means, you know, drop a comment and ask away. I will definitely answer you down in the comments. One thing I will say though is, if I'm not allowed to talk about something, then, you know, I'm not going to reply to a comment, basically. But though, everybody, I do want to thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you soon.